Hi everybody, I'm Gary Popotnik. I'm a biologist and the conservation manager at the Wilderness Center, and we'd like to talk to you today about invasive shrub species. The two species we're going to be discussing on treating this morning are autumn olive and privet. Some of you have probably seen both of these, especially privet. It's what hedges are made of when you see nicely trimmed lawns. There are two great methods of removing the species, depending upon two things, depending upon the diameter of the stem that you're cutting and depending upon how many you've got out there. So what we're going to do is we're going to look at small diameter stems this morning using a pair of loppers, like so, as well as an herbicide. For larger diameter shrubs, it's best to use a chainsaw. And I cannot stress enough the amount of times I've seen people who don't handle chainsaws very often not using any type of protective equipment, especially chaps and eye protection and ear protection. So if you're out there with a chainsaw and you're doing this kind of work, please wear chaps, wear something to protect your head, your vision, and your hearing. I'm sure everybody out there knows how to use loppers. And what we'd like to do is cut it as close to the ground as possible on this autumn olive. And it really pays to have sharp tools. Can't stress that enough either. So that's how simple it is to make your first cut. And we'll do the same with some privet. It just happens to be right next to it. Follow up with our cutting, it's really important to use an herbicide and use it properly. In doing cut stump methods like this, we use a glyphosate. For us, we use a product called Garlon 4A. It's a great product, and we mix it 1 part herbicide through 3 parts of a penetrating oil, and we also use a dye so we know what has been had an application to it and ones that have not. The other thing I really like about this method is it concentrates the herbicide in just one area. It's not like you're spraying something. It goes right to the cut, like so. The other important thing you need to consider is what weather conditions will be like that day, especially if rain is in the forecast within the next few hours. Usually with a cut stump method like this, I like to at least have a 4 to 8 hour buffer before rains occur. Now, last great thing I can tell you about this method is you can do it any time of year. You can do it in the spring, you can do it in the middle of the winter, it does not matter. It's really important to do an herbicide application because just by cutting that stem off, this will not die. And actually, it'll come out and sucker a number of other stems as well, making eradication even that much harder. We can do the same thing on the privet. The privet cuts that we made, like so. And then walk on to our next project. Always wear gloves. Always read the manufacturer's recommendations. There have been a number of times where I've talked to homeowners about this type of thing, and they say, well, I use 3 times the concentration that's recommended, and you don't need to. If you use it properly, and if you follow directions, you can help eradicate invasive plants on your property.